After input from the law director and reviewing of Robert's rules as well as city council rules, any motions, resolutions, or ordinances need to have a majority to pass. Therefore, as a 4-4 tie, this nomination fails. Now moving on to audience participation. Council Rule 21 does limit each speaker to 5-minute presentation and a total limit of 15 minutes per any single subject. If you get to the point where you're getting close to 1 minute remaining, I'll try to indicate to you to summarize your presentation. Anyone who wishes to speak, we do need for our records your name and address. Thank you.
Okay. My name is Janine Moore, and I live at 251 Knowles Avenue here in Chiillicothe. I was here for the meeting 4 weeks ago, I suppose, tonight, and where we gathered to present our views about Dr. Gabus and Steele. I think Jeff Graham, the CEO of Adina, led off that night, and I think it was clear how your audience felt about Dr. Gabus and Steele. So I ask, for those of you that are voting no, why you vote no, and other than your constituents, but how do you know, how do you poll your constituents that you have 51 that said, don't vote for him, and 50 that said, please vote for him? I'd like to know why. That's what you do? You just don't answer and you just stare into space? I mean, you don't owe the city of Chiillicothe an explanation of why you vote no?
I think the election results speak for themselves and how the city voters expect us to vote.
That's farthest from the truth. That isn't, I mean, I will tell you right now, I voted for Joe Geringer, but I expect him to come up here and represent the whole city of Chiillicothe, not a Republican and not a Democrat. I'm a registered Democrat, but I voted for him. So that's how our life should be, is that we vote for what's in the best interest of our city, not Republican and Democrat. And I see that you can't do that.
My response did not have anything to do with Republican or Democrat.
Yes, it did.
You brought that up.
You made it clear that's what it was. So, no votes? What do your constituents say why they don't want Dr. Gabus to hold the role? I'm appalled. I'm appalled. Because you don't represent the city. You're representing your best interest. You're representing your personal beliefs, not in the best interest of this city. You can't be. Knowing what we all know about Dr. Gabus. You can laugh and you can snicker. That's okay. I dare any one of you to walk where he's been with our homeless and our substance abuse neighborhoods. I can guarantee you some of you have never put foot in those neighborhoods. When's the last time you've been on the East End? But you've never been. I am absolutely appalled. And I hope the voters see that the next election comes around.
Nope.
Hi, my name is Jody Tippie. I've been a lifelong resident in Chiillicothe. Been born and raised here. I've known Dr. Gabus for probably 20 years. And I am just astounded that you would vote no on a position that's not even paid. He wants to volunteer his time to give back to this community. He is a pillar of this community, and so is Seal Corcoran. And the voters are watching you now because we're paying attention. And we will see what happens next election. This is just unheard of. I don't understand it. I know you're not going to give me an explanation as to why, but this shouldn't have anything to do with party lines. This has everything to do with the community of Chiillicothe, and you guys don't have its best interest at heart. Thank you.
Ma'am, could you say your address? We didn't catch your address for record.
643 Pickens Avenue.
Thank you. We'll now move to old business. Does anyone have any old business that they would like to bring up this evening? Oh. Not seeing any. Participation and correspondence received by the clerk.
I have no petitions or correspondence that I've received.
The new business. Does anyone have any new business that they would like to bring up this evening? Moving on to committee assignments and meeting dates. All right, so from there, let's move on to our legislation. 12 items on our agendas this evening. Ms. Moss, whenever you're ready, please start with item number 1.
Item number 1, third reading. A resolution granting use of a certain portion of 2nd Street to the Buck 50 Inc. from April 21st, 2022 through April 23rd, 2022 for its annual Buck 50 relay race.
Roll call on the resolution.
Greg Phillips,
Yes.
Payne,
Yes.
Nickerson,
Yes.
Farrow,
Yes.
Henderson,
Due to the fact that I'm a participant of this program, I'm going to abstain from this vote.
Preston,
Yes.
Anthony Phillips,
Yes.
Prohl.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Moving on to item number 2.
Item number 2 is a third reading, an ordinance amending section 351.13 of the codified ordinances of the city of Chiillicothe, Ohio.
Roll call on the ordinance.
Greg Phillips,
Yes.
Payne,
Yes.
Nickerson,
Yes.
Farrow,
Yes.
Henderson,
Yes.
Preston,
Yes.
Anthony Phillips,
Yes.
Prohl.
Yes.
Ordinance passes. Item number 3.
Item number 3 is a third reading, an ordinance allowing a covered entry at 14 to 16 East 2nd Street to encroach onto the sidewalk and city right-of-way and relocating a street light and sign at the property owner's expense.
Roll call on the ordinance.
Greg Phillips,
Yes.
Payne,
Yes.
Nickerson,
Yes.
Farrow,
Yes.
Henderson,
Yes.
Preston,
Yes.
Anthony Phillips,
Yes.
Prohl.
Yes.
Ordinance passes. Item number 4.
Item number 4 is a second reading, an ordinance accepting and appropriating $5,001 received as payoff of a CHIP mortgage and declaring an emergency.
Roll call on the ordinance. Oh. Yep.
Yes. Is that, do I need to declare each of those as to moving on?
That'll move to the next agenda. Item number 5.
Item number 5 is a second reading. An ordinance accepting and appropriating $3,381 in forfeiture of contraband funds and declaring an emergency.
That will move to the next agenda. Item number 6.
Item number 6 is a second reading of an ordinance authorizing the auction of miscellaneous items, including city-owned vehicles and equipment which are not needed for public use or are obsolete or unfit for the use for which they were acquired, in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code, Section 721.15, and declaring an emergency.
That will move to the next meeting. Item 7. And what was the amendment on that? Roll call on the, or motion to amend. Mr. Phillips, seconded by Mr. Farrow. Roll call on the motion to amend.
Anthony Phillips,
Yes.
Payne,
Yes.
Nickerson,
Yes.
Farrow,
Yes.
Henderson,
Yes.
Preston,
Yes.
Greg Phillips,
Yes.
Prohl.
Yes.
I'll have 4.
Item number 7 is a second reading, an ordinance establishing rates of pay and other economic benefits for classified, non-classified, and management level employees of the city of Chiillicothe, Ohio, and recognizing amended language and declaring an emergency.
That will move to the next meeting. Item 8.
Item 8 is the first reading of a resolution granting the use of certain city streets for the Kenworth Truck Parade on Saturday, June 18th, 2022, and declaring an emergency.
President Geringer, I'd like to make a motion to amend this legislation and remove the emergency language.
Second on the motion to remove emergency language, seconded by Ms. Payne. Roll call on the motion to remove emergency language.
Prohl,
Yes.
Anthony Phillips,
Yes.
Preston,
Yes.
Henderson,
Yes.
Nickerson,
Yes.
Farrow,
Yes.
Greg Phillips.
Yes.
Yes.
Payne.
Motion passes. This item will move on to the next meeting. Item number 9.
Item number 9 is a first reading of a resolution expressing cooperation and granting the use of a certain portion of Paint Street to the Downtown Chiillicothe organization for its Yellow Day celebration on May 6, 2022.
This item will move to the next meeting. Item number 10.
Item number 10 is the first reading of a resolution granting the use of the city park and surrounding streets from Thursday, May 26, 2022 at 8 a.m. through Monday, May 30th, 2022 at 11 a.m. for the preparation, operation, and cleanup of the annual Feast of the Flowering Moon and providing for coordination of its events with the City Parks and Recreation Department.
This item will move to the next meeting. Item number 11.
Item number 11 is a first reading of an ordinance amending section 121.021H of the codified ordinances of the City of Chiillicothe as it pertains to nuisance property code enforcement and declaring an emergency.
This item will move to the next meeting. Item 12.
Item number 12 is an first reading of an ordinance accepting and appropriating ODNR grant funds in the amount of $1,000 for the fire department's Fish with a Firefighter event and declaring an emergency.
I'd like to have the three-read rule.
A second to the motion. Mr. Greg Phillips, second. Roll call on the motion to waive the 3-read rule.
Payne,
Yes.
Nickerson,
Yes.
Anthony Phillips,
Yes.
Farrow,
Yes.
Prohl,
Yes.
Greg Phillips,
Yes.
Henderson,
Yes.
Preston.
Yes.
Motion passes. Roll call on the ordinance.
Greg Phillips,
Yes.
Nickerson,
Yes.
Henderson,
Yes.
Preston,
Yes.
Payne,
Yes.
Anthony Phillips,
Yes.
Farrow,
Yes.
and Prohl.
Yes.
That item passes. Does anyone have anything else that they would like to add or bring up at this time? If not, do I have a motion for adjournment of the meeting? Motion from Mrs. Henderson, seconded by Mr. Farrow. Roll call on the motion for adjournment.
Greg Phillips,
Yes.
Payne,
Yes.
Nickerson,
Yes.
Farrow,
Yes.
Henderson,
Yes.
Preston,
Yes.
Anthony Phillips,
Yes.
Prohl.
Yes.
We are adjourned. Have a wonderful evening.